What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall market, and break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, talk about other factors for the markets and what you should be watching for as time goes on. But just note that I'm not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amounts of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $25,000 more and you're guaranteed 75. Anyways, as far as NIO goes, we saw this thing gap up to date, very close to its 200 EMA, then reject. And NIO is once again approaching the $5 area. I do believe it's going to attempt to base around there. So we're seeing some buyers trying to defend 5. But overall, the chart is still in a very, very bearish phase. Now, if we manage to hold the $5 area, that could be the signal for this to try to reverse. But there's no confirmation yet because even when we tried to gap up today, we saw more sellers step in. So right now, the sellers have a bigger edge on NIO in my opinion. But I do want to note that at $5, we are seeing some signs of it trying to base. That does not guarantee anything for the time being, so we'll have to see how things end up going. But with that being said, that's what I'm saying, at least for now. I want to also mention that for the broader markets, we have some very important earnings coming out. On Monday, we have some minor ones like SAP and a few others. For Tuesday, we have Verizon, not to mention GM, which are more significant. For Wednesday, we have other ones like Coca-Cola and AT&T in the morning, not to mention Tesla's earnings and IBM after the market closes. For Thursday, we have American Airlines and a few others, and that's pretty much it. Everything else becomes more minor after that. But get ready for Tesla's earnings. That's going to be a big one. For Friday, we have very, very minor data coming out, or it's been coming out this way. And I just want to say that since today, the data has been quite minor, and it's going to continue to remain this way for the next couple of days. We have Kashkari giving a speech, not to mention some manufacturing numbers on Tuesday. Wednesday doesn't really have much except for the Fed beige book, which might cause some volatility, but it's going to be very minor. And then besides that, there's not really a whole lot else that's coming out for at least the upcoming week. But then after that, I think we're going to get very, very close to the election. So I think that's going to be very important, especially as we approach the end of October. So the election week is going to be very big. That's going to be huge. So I can't wait for that. Besides that, there's not really much going on with the options chain. And as far as NIO goes, I just want to say that NIO is going to be participating in the NIO Cup FSEC, and then the FSAC as well is about to kick off. That's going to be the 10th consecutive year that NIO is involved in these cups. And this is very, very important because they are inspiring youth to get involved in developing their products. And NIO is working on their different models that are very, very cool, at least for racing. So I think it's cool that NIO is using these exercises to improve their products in different ways. So very, very cool stuff. NIO is also accelerating its chip usage in EVs, surpassing 4,200 semiconductors per vehicle. So that's very, very cool as well. It just goes to show how sophisticated their cars are, the amount of technology that they put in them. And with the new competitive models incorporating technologies that are very advanced, I think that's very, very cool as well. So awesome stuff. They're preparing to launch their essential FFS new vehicle. So this is going to be very important for us, the NT 3.0. And we have the ET9. So that's also very, very cool in my opinion as well. So very, very cool stuff with the new launches. So the question is, what do I see for the share prices, at least for these different companies? I think that the first thing worth mentioning is the fact that NIO is kind of bearish on this downtrend. We could try to retest the $5 area, but we're going to be watching to see if we could try to get a bounce from here. I want to call out the fact that the weekly still suggests that there could be some more downside. We're trying to hold this very, very key 5.21 area. That's going to be our 20 EMA. So the weekly looks more bearish. It does suggest more downside, but if we manage to reclaim 5.21 by Friday of next week, this could attempt to rebound. We look more bearish, so this is suggesting downside could be coming closer to the 5 flat area, but then there could be a bounce after that. So that's going to be very, very important, at least moving forward. For other factors out there, I want to mention that as far as SPY goes, we remain more bullish as we're breaking all-time highs again. And there's no sign of this slowing down. So far, the chart is still favoring that it wants to go up to that 587 area. So far, the bulls have a bigger edge. Yes, I did mention that seasonality suggests a downside would come, but there's no sign of that yet. And sometimes you have to make these necessary adjustments. So in this case, we are looking more bullish. We are still favoring the upwards direction. So we'll have to see how things end up moving. But that's going to be very, very key, at least for us as well. So we still look more bullish on SPY. On ES, as long as we don't lose 58.11, we are favoring all-time highs. We're looking very, very bullish. So we'll see how that goes. For Nvda, we look pretty decent right now. It is very tough to break past 140. So if that broke, we would turn more bullish. If not, we could turn back down. So we'll have to give this some time. But this is still suggesting could be testing the 140s. Bitcoin looks more bullish, trying to break past that 69,000 area. I do believe Bitcoin will achieve that soon, so it still looks more bullish for the time being. So I'll have to give it some time. As far as Tesla goes, it's very flat right now. If we break resistance around this 223 area, we're looking for a bigger push. With earnings coming out, there's a good chance that Tesla will be making a big move. So it's just waiting for that big day to come. But there might be a little push early next week for 225. NQ looks more bullish. It has this imbalance to fill. I think it might be approaching the 20,600 area. It's doing a good job so far. So is the QQQ. Now, one could argue the QQQ had a high here, came down at a lower high, but overall it's still holding up. But if we were to lose 487, I would turn more bearish. As long as we're above 492, we favor the upwards direction. So upside still looks very prominent. For others out there, we also have Aapl. Aapl has this gap to fill down here, so it might dip a little bit and then try to bounce again. But overall, the chart remains bullish. It's still on a very, very nice uptrend. I think we could be going up to about 238. We might dip a little bit first before we try to continue to get there. But nonetheless, we look more bullish. For the IWM, it looks like it might cool off towards 225 flat, maybe a little bit lower before it tries to bounce again. So look for some downside for a much bigger move. Amazon looks like it might be trying to retest the 190 area. We also have this gap to fill at 191, so it looks more bullish. Meta is flat right now. I think we might retest 574, and we'll have to see if we bounce. So this is showing some weakness. Microsoft is trying to push. If we break past 421, we're looking for a push. And Google is also looking more bullish. As long as we hold above 165, we do favor the upwards direction. So we have to give these some time. But in my view, the majority of stocks are still holding up very well. NIO might not have as much strength. There is a risk of it coming back down to 5, and we'll see if we bounce or not. But that's what my view is for the market for the time being. But with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of the day. I want to make this video nice, short, sweet, and simple. And I also want to take a break from at least the markets for a day or two. I'll be back for sure on Sunday to give you guys another update on what I see happening to like NIO and the others. But for now, that's what I'm basically seeing as the market is just developing. So with that being said, for next week, there might be a small dip coming to NIO. Just remember, guys, there's going to be some big earnings coming out, like Tesla's earnings and other factors like that. So make sure you guys are ready and prepared for what's about to come. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday and Saturday. Enjoy your day, night, or evening, wherever you guys are around the world. And I'll be back on Sunday to give you guys another update on NIO and the broader markets. Thank you for listening. NIO to the moon, because the long term is still very bright. No matter how low NIO goes, whether we go back to the 4s or even the $5 area, that's going to be fine. The long term is still very bright for the company, and I still hold that same view. All right. Thanks for listening, and peace out.